5 over 3 points from turnovers, Australia with only 3. And then just shooting percentage-wise, USA has 52% from the field and currently 2 of 3 from the three-point line. Australia only currently shooting 38% from the field and 1 of 5 from the three-point line. So it's really just Australia not finding their rhythm with their shots yet, but otherwise this has been a really, really well-balanced game that we're seeing here.
There's that beautiful three-point touch by Jake Williams. Australia's got to start to match the Americans.
Nice hand there by Scott. Something that really benefits the U.S. with this lineup as well is that most of their players have great height. Williams is actually the smallest player on this on the court in this lineup, and that really eliminates Latham from having an easy mismatch, which he usually likes to search out for. That foul was on number 16, Trayvon Jennifer, his second personal foul.
There's a bucket.
Substitutions checking into the table for USA. We're going to be seeing Jared Arambula make his appearance back onto the court.
Cooch misses, and Australia gets a rebound. Couldn't quite get the ball up ahead. Jake Williams got back on defense. Great job there.
Yeah, like you said.
Should have led him a little more with that pass, perhaps.
Yeah, passed just a little bit behind him, so he had to slow down and lost that momentum. Williams able to recover.
Can't get the roll. Jennifer brings it up. Stops. Inadvertent chair banging. And then Williams nails another one.
Heavily contested there by Latham. Williams able to get it off and up and over Latham just in time. Great arc there on that shot.
Williams just a 2.5 and plays like a 4.5 though. The way that he strokes.
That is a three-pointer for Norris. He doesn't necessarily play with a 4, like a 4 or 4-5. The higher classification doesn't necessarily mean that you're a higher scorer.
Right.
Your mid-pointers, your 2s, your 2-5s, your 3s, your 3-5s, usually they can be slicers and cutters to the basket, but they're going to a lot of times be your phenomenal guards and your great outside shooters. And Williams has developed into exactly that role.
That's exactly why I made that misstatement, so you'd correct me. Bring out the true facts of this game. As the point system does go from 1.0 to 4.4, depending on your disability, but not your skill level.
Williams being able to get a hand on it. Yeah, the classification 10245 is just dependent on the level of disability and how much function the player has. Whether they have trunk rotation, if they're able to twist to the right and to the left, whether they can lean to the right and left and sit back up, whether they can lean forwards and backwards and sit up on their own, if they have hip function, things like that. That's a.
So they do all those tests on the mat with the international delegates, checking them out to classify them?
No, actually a lot of the time it's just playing wise. So that it's how you play in your chair. So they have classifiers at tournaments for especially like new players that haven't played internationally yet. They bring in a panel of 3 classifiers, and a lot of the times they will come to a practice before leading, because you have practices leading into the tournament. Here you get like 1 or 2 practices before the tournament actually starts. These classifiers will come to a practice and watch the player, give them the classification they think they will have, and then they'll analyze them once again, once or twice again in the game to make sure. But it's going to be your functionality in your basketball
right out of the storm here. We've got 5 to go.
Gotcha.
Let's get it close. Couple of stops. Here we go.
And with all that, USA enjoying a 9-point game, 9-point lead right now. Halfway through the second quarter, Australia wants to keep this game close, not let it get away like US got away from and kind of clobbered a really good Argentinian team to get here in the quarterfinals. Just have so many weapons, and they're veteran weapons and guys who don't miss a lot, and it's got to be tough to defend against.
And as you can see, Jared Arambula, number 20, coming on the court for number 16, Trayvon Jennifer. Jennifer currently with 2 personal fouls. Not that he's in foul trouble, but also they're able to substitute these 2 in, as well as with Williams, and not really lose a beat here on their offense or defense.
One finally bounces out for the Americans, and Australia will try and cut it.
That will be Australia ball.
Sigler's off of Scott's chair there.
Australia bringing some substitutions in. Kim Robbins and Yannick Blair making their way back onto the court.
Well, I believe we're late in the evening, or in the evening in Australia, whereas we're early in the morning in the United States, for those of you watching, with the time difference. Right here in the middle is Germany, the country. And both of these teams going at it right here in Hamburg.
A little bit of miscommunication there between Knowles and O'Neal Thorne. But also great pressure by Williams, not able, allowing O'Neal Thorne to be able to pop up and get that outlet pass. Serio with the break.
Broke free somehow. Call speed. And he gets the easy bucket. Putting the Americans up by 11.
Yeah, 4 minutes left in the second quarter, 31-24 USA.
Nice steal there by Scott. And then he gets the ball back, return favor, back to Williams. Nice little
floater
forward
there.
Momentum shot. Just tossed that up with the forward momentum of his chair. Perfect release. It's got the bucket.
Yeah, that's a great floater by Jake Williams. And I know that's something he's worked really, really hard to develop. He's trained that constantly, and he's become a phenomenal player, both from inside and outside, as we can tell.
He has just dominated in this whole tournament, start to finish, with his percentage shooting. It's got to be well above 50%.
Yeah, Williams currently with 18 points, 7 of 9 from the field.
Incredible.
As well as 2 of 2 from the three-point line, and 2 of 2 from free throws. So having a great game here so far for the USA men. Currently their only player in double digits, Serio with 8 points and Arambula with 4. Shooting 52% total as a team. And then on the Australian men's side, you have Norris with 12 points, 5 of 10, 50%. And then other than that, you have McShane, O'Neal Thorne, Blair, and Latham, all with only 2 points. And that's something that's not very characteristic of that team. O'Neal Thorne currently 1 of 6, and he's a player that we've seen in this tournament, especially against when they played Argentina, that can get incredibly hot and just very hard to stop offensively. As well as Latham with only 2 points. That's also not very common. He's a great inside shooter, a great mismatch shooter. However, like I said, with this lineup USA has on the court right now, he doesn't really have an easy mismatch, and they're too quick at closing those gaps to really allow him in the paint right now.
USA looking strong. Australia's got to match them. See if the foul was before the shot.
Yeah,
it looks like it was.
Shot will not count.
Lucky for the U.S. men, they fouled at the right time before the shot.
Foul on number 9, Matt Scott, his first personal foul.
It's not going to cost them.
Third team foul.
Scott, a feisty player who's always got a few fouls on him, but not enough to foul out of the game. I don't think any of the U.S. men have fouled out any of these games yet.
No, and Scott is a really phenomenal player, especially with his energy. He has great energy on the court.
Another leader who's been to many of these Worlds and Paralympics. Knows them well. And there's Jake giving it back to Serial.
Shot by Arambula.
Arambula had to take one. Shot clock winding down. Couldn't get it to fall.
That will be a foul on Arambula.
Player came in behind him. I guess the bang was just too hard for the refs to ignore, and the player went down. But Jake just didn't see the player and kind of turned into him. Arambula, that is. Jared Arambula from Valpo, Indiana. Playing over here in Germany now, I believe.
No. He's over in Spain. He's playing in Gran Canaria. He played for 1 or 2 years in Italy, but he was also at the University of Alabama. He currently plays in Spain with fellow USA teammate Jorge Sanchez.
Spain, another one of those countries that has a real big basketball league.
Yeah, they have definitely a really strong league there, and multiple leagues as well. So same here in Germany. It's not just the first division league. You also have the second, third, fourth, I think even fifth division
like
leagues.
Turkey.
Yeah, well, Turkey, not quite as strong. Spain, Italy.
They have a lot of teams, maybe not as strong of teams. But yeah, Spain and Germany are very similar with their club teams.
Same with Italy as well.
And Italy.
Great finish there by
Gooch getting in there. Keep the Americans up by double digits at 11. And the steal. Aaron saw that one, had the speed to overtake him, bring it all the way down the court and score.
That is going to be a foul on number 11, O'Neal Thorne. A foul on number 42, Gooch. On the way back to defense. I thought they were about to call that offensive on Australia.
Just crashed into a man, it seems.
But like I said, Gooch, an incredibly powerful player. O'Neal Thorne a little bit out of his weight class there, so Gooch able to push through him. Got the foul, but...
Pusher two ahead of him. Good scramble for the ball, and Americans will get possession.
Australia just not able to find their rhythm here on offense.
They've got their hands full on defense, it seems, and it's tough to mount on offensive sometimes at that point.
Even that with the pressure that the USA men are applying on the defensive end against Australia's offense. I think it's just, getting in their heads a little bit, flustering them, not allowing them to find their rhythm, and definitely not allowing them to get those shots that they want to get.
Yep. What you don't notice sometimes is the great defense and the defense that the teams are playing, and the U.S. at this point.
A little bit of a rare miscommunication there between co-captain Steve Serio and Mikey Pay. Both captains of this USA team.
Mike Pay in the game now, number 5.
Yeah, both
veteran, oldest guy on the team, 35.
Yeah, both are captains of this game and played together for a very long time. And as you can see, just a little off of the communication there in the beginning.
There's Pay with the ball. Over to Serio.
That will be a foul on O'Neal Thorne. His first personal foul, team's third. 47 seconds left in the second quarter, 37-27 for USA.
And there's Bell underneath.
That is going to be called a 3-second call. Australia ball at the baseline.
He had been underneath too long.
Great save by Kim Robbins. Australia able to maintain the ball. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. O'Neal Thorne there with the shot, and it's good.
There's O'Neal Thorne with his hot shooting coming back a little bit. Aussies are going to need that.
Definitely. He is a critical player.
And there's Bell bringing it right back.
4
Down
seconds
to 3
left.
seconds in the half.
Foul drawn. Syria will be sent to the line for 2 free throws. First one is good. So is the second. Australia allowing USA with 2 easy points there at the end of the second quarter.
Nails them both to put an exclamation point on the first half. And that's going to be a
39-29.
10-point lead.
For USA. That's going to send us into halftime. We will be back in about 12 minutes or so to lead you into the second half.
It's going to be a good one.
All right, you're tuning into the second half of the Australia versus USA men's semifinal game. Australia, the 2014 world champions. USA, the 2016 Paralympic champions. So a little bit of a battle of some golds here. And so far what we've seen is the USA currently shooting 55% as a team. You have Jake Williams leading the team with 18 points, Serial with 10, Gooch with 6, and Arambula with 4. And then for the Australia men's side, currently 43% as a team from the field. Norris, the only player shooting in double digits with 12 points. Australia currently 3 of 9 from the three-point line. A lot of three-point attempts and not a lot of makes. And the USA currently 2 of 6 from the three-point line. USA only with 6 turnovers. Australia with 7. Overall, we've seen a pretty equal setup between these two teams. The biggest thing is that Latham has been a little less effective for the Australians. The USA really making sure to close those gaps and keep him out of the paint, as well as they ran a pretty mid-sized lineup, so he didn't really have any easy mismatch shots there. What do you think so far, Mark?
Well, there you see number 1 coming on for Jorge Sanchez for the USA, and they can afford to play all of their players as they're up by 10 points. And they're not going to miss a beat once again with Jorge, the youngest guy on the team, number 1. And they're leaving Gouge in there, and they're also, you see the other players out there. There's Matt Scott with the ball. Up ahead to Gouge, but he can't handle it. You can see why USA is the top-ranked team in the world and why they've had so many good results in wheelchair basketball. Because
and how old is Jorge? Do you have that in
19.
front of you? No, he's definitely not 19.
I see 1999 year of birth.
I think that should be 89 because he's definitely older than I am.
Okay, so there could be a misprint on that one. I'm sure his family knows the true age.
Yeah, I would say I think he's about 26, 27. But he played 5 years at the University of Texas Arlington and now overseas in Spain on Gran Canaria with his fellow teammate Jared Arambula. And he's a 4-0 player. Not very big for a 4, but a phenomenal shooter.
Yep. Possibly one of the only misprints in this magazine. It's amazing the facts and figures that they have on all these guys. Usually they always have it right. Similar to NBA stars over in the States.
Robbins not able to get the first attempt, gets the offensive
Australia
rebound.
Drawing within, back to 10.
And as you can see, the Aussies bringing back on their starting 5, and the U.S. having a brand new lineup on the court for the first time.
It is. It's a different mix of players.
Yeah, Williams, their leading scorer, currently off the court.
Resting their hottest players in case they need them to be rested, and we'll see how the second half goes for the U.S. men. The first half went excellent after they got a slow start, and there's Sanchez coming in for the bucket. Puts them back up by 12.
That will be a foul on number 9, Matt Scott.
Scott gets another foul away from the ball.
It was on the ball. It was right before Norris was able to pass it. It had some chair contact.
It was.
I think Norris got the pass off just in case the ref didn't call the foul, and he didn't want to go down with the ball. Smart move there by Norris.
Vanessa, of course, a player herself. She doesn't miss much out there. And none of these guys do. They're looking all over the court at all times. And there's Sanchez with another bucket. Comes in with the second half hot hand, second half substitution, and there's a steal by Serio. U.S. is not going to let up. Best competition they've faced. Don't want to have to get down or a close game if they don't have to. Australia's got to play up to their level.
Oh, that is going to be called a foul on Australia. Number 8, Kim Robbins. A little bit of a tough call there. It looked like a pretty equal grab for the ball. Didn't even look like a lot of chair contact. I actually thought they were going to call a jump ball. That's Robin's third personal foul. This will be his fourth. Luke Popel making his way to the table to check in. USA leading by 12. 7 minutes, 18 seconds left in the third.
Syria's got the open shot, almost gets the kind roll, but not this time.
Player down. O'Neal Thorne making sure to bring the ball over that side to make sure the play is called dead and we can have all 5 Aussie players up and on offense. If we get a full court view here on the live stream, you'll be able to see that the USA is applying this full court pressure. Australia able to get the ball over half just in time. Finding Latham in the middle. Not able to convert. Luke Popel with the offensive rebound pulls it back out. Great
Nice
dip down
feed.
to Blair, and it's in.
Gets the kind roll there. Cuts it to 10.
Blair, a really good class 1 here on the men's competition side.
Scott with the dish down to Serial. Beautiful pass down and low.
That will be a foul on number 10, Blair.
Australia had to foul.
His second personal foul. Team's third foul for this quarter. Won't be a shooting foul, so will be inbound for USA.
Good foul there. Serial probably would have laid that right in. Sanchez trying to open up the gap even further. Misses his first shot after hitting his first 2. Australia's got to make a move.
Matt Scott able to get a hand on the ball. That is going to be an offensive foul on number 42, Aaron Googe. That is going to be his second personal foul. That was a great read there by Norris as well. If you saw when Scott was able to break away once he got possession of the ball, Norris did not go to try and go for the ball. He just continued straight forward to just make sure that Scott wasn't able to get that fast break layup. Finding O'Neal Thorne wide open. Easy 2 points for O'Neal Thorne. Something USA shouldn't really allow because he's a player that can get hot very fast.
Just the way it shakes out as players are trying to decide who to cover. Every time down the court, it's a different setup. And the USA still in control, though. They're finding their own open man, and there's Sanchez. He's the man with the hot hand. Gets the foul, gets the shot.
Basket will count.
Jorge looking strong.
That is going to be Latham's second personal foul. 4th team foul for Australia.
And as you notice when you watch this game, all the disabilities are different out there. Wheelchair basketball, the great equalizer, brings all the different mobility disabilities together in a chair, saying, see what you got in a wheelchair. Rollstuhl is, of course, the name for wheelchair in German.
And that is going to be another foul on number 10 of Australia, Yannick Blair, his third personal foul. Considered offensive. Turnover for the Australian team, USA ball.
Considering offensive to his coach as well. And the US does not need the extra ammo, as they are doing quite well without any Aussie miscues. And there's a feed into Jennifer, who's just come back in, but he misses the easy layup. Wasn't so easy, though. He had a man right on him. Had to get it off really quick. Australia try and cut it down below 10.
Great substitutions in there by Likens, bringing on Jorge Sanchez and yeah, giving Williams and Jennifer a little bit of a break there. They didn't actually gain or lose anything, still with a 10-point lead. Allowed some players to get a little bit of a break here. I don't think it's going to affect their shooting rhythms at all. And as you can see, they're back on court, applying this full court pressure on the Australian team. Australia ball at the sideline. Finding Latham, heavily contested. Jennifer getting a hand on the ball. Australians getting a little frustrated with each other. And that's something USA is going to try and do. That's what a pressure can do. Like the pressure that the USA team has on defense right now. It can really start getting into the heads of the Aussies. It can really get them frustrated. And that can start causing some frustration fouls, as we just saw there.
They have had a few more steals and disruptions than the Australians have had.
Yeah, and with Australia already, with team fouls, 4 minutes and 44 seconds left in the third quarter, every foul that they commit, frustration or not, it's going to send USA to the free throw line for 2 shots. Little bit of miscommunication going on with the substitutions.
There's the stroke of Trevor Jennifer. They call him Trey. Do you know where he plays when he's not playing on the U.S. team?
Trayvon Jennifer, I believe he's on a team in Pennsylvania right now.
Okay.
He was overseas for a little bit and head back over to the U.S. 1 or 2 years ago.
So that's where he's from, is Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Around Philadelphia,
I believe
maybe?
so. So he went to the University of Pennsylvania or University of Edinburgh in Pennsylvania. And so I definitely, yeah, he's from around that area.
Well, that's just it. The U.S., of course, with a great basketball heritage and tradition, always a leader in wheelchair basketball. And they have a huge pool of players to choose from the NWBA, the feeder system for them. And so they're always perennially a contender and a dominant contender at times.
5 seconds left on the shot clock.
Perennially. All right, Jake Williams with the ball. Bringing it up, back in the game with the hot hand. He's been in double digits, over 20 in other games.
Matt Scott left wide open there in the middle, not able to convert.
Any other team, they would have left him in there. Australia's got to start converting.
Nice shot there
There's
by
one.
Latham, closing this gap to 9 points.
See if they can find an answer on defense, which is what they're going to have to do.
Yeah, definitely going to need to start getting these defensive stops here.
U.S. wants to deny that as Serial brings it up over to Gouge, over to Williams, back to Gouge, down in low to Trey. Gets the foul, doesn't get the drop. But there you see the even distribution and power of the Americans.
Latham needing to be a little bit smarter, I think, on that. He would have been able to really have a good contest there, but with coming in with so much speed, he got that chair foul, and that's going to be his 3rd personal foul there.
It's tough to stop those chairs when you're got the head of steam going. And the other thing is you can't be slowing down your chair while you're using both arms to defend a ball. Fine line between all of these subtle things that you need to do in your wheelchair. And the Americans and the Australians have learned how to perfect it.
Australia able to get the ball over half just in time.
Just in time. If you're counting off, it was when the clock hits 16, of course, or yeah, 16 because it's a 24 second, and you have to get it up in 8 seconds. And on that one, they almost didn't hit the shot clock at 24, and they didn't because they didn't hit the rim.
Exactly.
It'll be U.S. ball.
USA keeping Latham out, able to recover.
Serial over to Williams. Williams not much there. They're not going to panic though with the clock winding down as you hear the bench counting out the 10.
Latham needing to be careful.
Serial gets the momentum, and that's how he likes it best. Serial loves the pressure. Back to 13.
Serial, one of the best players in this game right now.
He's still at the top of his game.
Norris.
Tough shot, but he hits.
Long two there for Norris. He has been the leading scorer for this Australian team.
Back to 11.
Yeah, Norris currently with 14 points.
Serial, the master of getting his chair around players sometimes. And that one just misses by Jake. Australia loses the handle though, loses back over.
Really need to
Jake
take care of their passes.
Serial there for three himself, and he saw it, hit it. How do you defend that? You don't.
Serial there with 17 points now. Williams with 18. Two top scorers.
Another foul by Australia there. The U.S. just keep putting the pressure on, feeling it. They had a test in the first couple minutes of the game, but since then have hit on most all cylinders. Hits the ground hard there. Back up. Back to live action with Scott taking the ball out as Trey straps back in.
.40 seconds left in the third quarter.
Williams learning a little of that head jiving from Serial, perhaps. I know he's learned a lot from him, and from what I've seen, Steve's happy to let him become a top shooter along with him and maybe hand the reins to him. Jake, 4 years younger than him. And
that is going to be a foul number 14, Stibners of Australia. His first personal foul, however, team is in team fouls. So gives Williams these 2 free throws here.
Everybody emulates Serial out there, and Jake, no exception. All right, Australia looking for the highlight reel themselves. There's one for them.
Nice finish there by Blair.
Got open as the U.S.
Great recognition there as a one-pointer. Sometimes you never know if you should be picking or sealing or whether you should drive open for that wide open layup, and he had the good recognition of knowing that that was his shot.
Goose hits the ground and gets back up as Williams has to take the shot before the buzzer of the third quarter. And Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Once again, the U.S. won that one by a few points, extended their lead at halftime to 16 now.
Yeah, U.S. won that one 18-14 as the stats are updating still. USA currently shooting 51% as a team. Australia shooting 44%. However, yeah, I think the three-pointers have been great momentum changers for the U.S. team, as we have seen. They're currently shooting 60% from the three-point line, 3 of 5. Australia currently shooting 3 of 9 from the three-point line. So a little bit of a change for that. I think a lot of those threes that Australia has taken has been because of the shot clock running down and the USA providing so much pressure that the three was their only option.
Or we can have a crack.
And then as well, the turnovers, only 8 turnovers for the USA team and 13 turnovers now for Australia.
There you have it up on the screen now.
Yeah, so that's a lot of turnovers that have happened here in the third quarter. And
U.S. leading in every category, basically.
Yeah, and as you can see, a big thing is that Australia's passes, just getting a little bit of frustration with each other, not exactly feeding each other the ball to where the teammate that's receiving the pass is going to be set up in the best position to receive it and be successful after they get the ball. Sometimes that's a classification dependent, like a 4-5, maybe you can give them a little bit worse of a pass than a 1-0. 1-0 is going to really need a pass directly to their chest, basically. And so, yeah, a little carelessness with the passes of the Australian team right now. And I think that's something they're really going to focus on cleaning up here in the fourth quarter.
Saw Scott there helping the Aussie back up the sportsmanship with these guys, and it's tremendous.
Yeah, currently a 14-point game for USA right now. 14 points in 10 minutes is definitely not impossible. Australia is still in this game. Kim Robbins back on the court. A little bit of a surprise. He has 4 personal fouls. He's someone that's really going to have to watch out with his chair.
You can see why the U.S. men who won gold in Rio didn't change much. Only 2 players. Do you happen to know who the new players are on the U.S. team?
Yeah, number 1, Jorge Sanchez, as we saw on the court earlier, as well as number 33, John Boy, who we have not seen yet on the court. 2 more points for Trayvon Jennifer.
Other than that, you're seeing the all-star American lineup out there. And the all-star Aussie lineup is trying to catch him right now.
Also, something a little interesting is the foul calls. So the Aussies actually have double the amount of fouls called on them than the USA team. And
they've had to.
Yeah, I think a little bit of that has been some questionable calls, but the Aussies not doing as good of a job making sure that their chairs are well positioned here on defense.
They've got their hands full, both on offense and defense, but we'll see what they can do here as we've just begun the fourth quarter. Australia down by 14 still.
That's going to be called a foul on number 42, Aaron Gooch. His third personal foul.
Himself. He's called with the foul. Let's see what happened here.
Yeah, just not able to fit in that gap and ends up running into O'Neal Thorne. Stibners, and it's good.
Australia cuts it. Back to 12. See if they can get a stop or two, which they're going to need. Men, U.S. men looking very powerful. There's Arambula. Down inside to Williams. Nice dish there.
Great.
Found the cutter.
Great find by Arambula.
Australia tries to match it. The U.S. gets back nicely on defense, gives them nothing except a little.
Great finish there by Yannick Blair.
By the 1.0, oftentimes you'll see, sneaks in there.
And that's great composure by Blair. A lot of pressure there by Gooch, a much bigger player than he is, and yeah, able to get that layup off. 8 points for Blair.
Had to get that one off straight up above his head. As Bell comes back in the game, and we saw him in other games hitting clutch shots at points that the U.S. needed a bucket, and comes in and gets another bucket for USA.
That's actually going to be his first points of the game.
We haven't even needed Bell this game. With all the other stars coming to the front, like Williams and
4 seconds left on the shot clock. Long two by O'Neal Thorne off the front of the rim.
And there's Jake. Spinning around, looking for the open man.
O'Neal Thorne currently 4 of 13.
Another bucket. Americans hitting a very high percentage against this Australian team. Coach has got to be pleased for USA.
Yeah, timeout called by the Australians. I think the coach just, needs to tell them to focus up here, and we'll be back in about a minute.
Okay. Back to live action. Australia brings it up. Down by 14, still 16. Correct that. Up ahead to Williams for the uncontested. He's got that speed as well when he needs it. Puts it in and the lead grows to 18.
Finding Robbins. Nice layup there by Robbins. Great find by the Aussies, and that's something they need right now. Just a couple of easy baskets.
Indeed, but none of them are. And Arambula passes it over to Jake. Jake over to Gouge, loses the handle, gets it back, gets a little foul as the Aussie player came too hard on him.
And that is going to be called a foul on number 14, Stibners. I think a very questionable call, as you can also tell the fans think so too. Goes for the ball, has position, reaches down. Gouge was already leaning forward and a little out of control of the ball, and draws the foul on Stibners there.
Could have been one of those football fouls where when the player goes down, it helps sway the ref.
Great finish there in the paint by Brian Bell. Going to be a foul now on number 8, Brian Bell.
There's Bell showing what he can do and then getting a little tacky foul afterwards.
No worries, only his first personal foul. Second team foul though, so USA does need to be a little bit careful because the last thing they want necessarily is to start sending Australia to the line for free throws.
Bell, another player for the US who plays over here in Germany for one of the club teams. Top, well-liked and known player.
And that was a foul on number 20, Jared Arambula, his first personal foul.
Arambula back in the game. U.S. team just so deep in talent.
Latham not able to get the roll.
Bounces out. USA cruises up as the pace is slowed now, as U.S. is not going to look to rub it in their faces as much as wear the clock down and hopefully end this first semifinal with a W.
Great steal by Jake Williams there. 3-point for Williams. Not in. Latham with the rebounds.
Not one of his best attempts, but he saw it and felt it, and it's a game of quick reactions.
Finding Latham. Latham still off the mark, not able to find his rhythm this game, 3 of 8.
It's tough to score that 18-point shot sometimes. And Gouge puts it down to Jennifer.
Great finish there by Jennifer.
U.S. playing with confidence and not much pressure at this point of the game.
Another timeout for Australia.
And that makes it extra tough for Australia.
Yeah, we will be seeing a substitution change. 3 players at the table looking to come in, it looked like. Coach calling a timeout, I think, wants to make sure that they're all on the same page as they come onto the court. 3 players is a pretty big change, so obviously you want to make sure those 3 players coming in are going to be on the same page as the 2 players that you are keeping on the court. As you can see, the Australian coach, I think, a little displeased with how his team is playing. I think they've had a lot of frustration and a lot of pressure from this USA men's team, and haven't been able to really find their rhythm and find their pattern. A little bit of a mental game here for Australia. Definitely athletically talented team as we've seen earlier in this tournament. And yeah, I think right now not being able to perform to the capacity that they know that they can.
Flash cut, get someone to the post. Hey, we need to finish off this some quality here. Lock in here. Here we go. Roll.
Not much the coach can say. One of the keys to this tournament, or two of the things I've seen in this tournament are the Iranian men having a great tournament. They're a surprise. But then how the men have not quite been tested yet on the U.S. men.
Yeah, and the final words of the Australian coach there as they were coming out was they need to finish with some quality and to lock it in. So I think that's something that we can hopefully see here in the last 4 minutes.
If they go down to the U.S. men here, they'll be looking to have their bronze medal game turn out much better.
Foul on number 2, Jake Williams, his 3rd personal foul. 4th team foul, so after this, any foul the USA commit will send Australia to the line.
Perhaps you're seeing also here with the U.S. men all the experience they get playing over here in Germany and playing on club teams and playing a lot of ball that maybe some of the Australians do. Do any of these Australians play on German teams, or not as much, or not that you know of?
So Kim Robbins currently plays over here in Munich. And then other than that, a lot of these Australian players play in a couple of other countries. Some are over in Spain and Bilbao. I know Yannick Blair is there, as well as O'Neill Thorne is going there next year. Latham is currently at Madrid. And then a lot of them play overseas together, or not overseas, but together in the Australian League. A couple of them were on the championship team of the Australian League, as well as the vice champion, the 2nd place team.
And how is wheelchair basketball in Australia relative to, say, like Spain and Italy? Do they have maybe not quite as many teams and competition?
They have a good number of teams, and they're actually very, very competitive, because the thing is that makes the Australian League a little special is that it's at a different time than the other leagues, because obviously, yeah, just how it works out over there.
Right. And summer versus our winter.
Exactly. And so so a lot of players that play overseas will go to Australia and continue to play there if their national teams or work allow so. And so they actually have some really, really strong teams and get quite a few international players over there as well.
Yeah, and the 2014 gold medalists will probably not be this year.
Popel in the paint.
The Americans have strengthened their game since 2014, and it showed back in Rio when they won the gold medal with basically the same team out there.
Exactly, and this is kind of what I was expecting. Not quite a big gap. I didn't expect it to be a 25 or a 24-point lead.
It's really tough on the Australians now as the Americans are having a field day now.
Yeah, but I definitely expected USA to be able to come over on top, just because of the fact that I think both teams talent-wise are very equally matched, but I think the USA just has so much chemistry together that they're phenomenal on court. It's like they're constantly in this flow, this fluid movement, and they are able to do that with so many players coming in and off their bench, and just to maintain that.
And all of these U.S. players are probably just like Syria when you read his interview. Wheelchair basketball is my first, second, and third priority right now in my life.
Yeah, and
maybe not Syria as much anymore as he talks about, you know, moving on a little bit.
Nice hand by O'Neal Thorne there. Three-pointer for Williams, and it's good. Actually, I talked to Serial a little bit earlier, and he said that this is the one medal that he is missing. He does not have a World Championship gold medal. It's the one medal missing from his collection, he said. So, yeah, he is on a mission right now.
Yep. Got to always continue to challenge yourself, even when you're the best in the world.
Number 15, Nate Hines checking in.
And that's what all the U.S. team is doing right now. Their goal is to stay the best in the world, and they'll have one more game after this to show and prove it.
Finding O'Prince. O'Prince for 2 points.
Australia tries to bring it close with a couple buckets at the end here. The next game up will be a packed house as the German women will try to beat the powerful Great Britain women team. And Great Britain, the only country with both the men and the women in the semifinals.
Yeah, that's a great accomplishment there by that program. They've had a lot of centralization, both men and women coming in and centralizing. They've been working a ton on developing a lot of chemistry and using a lot of resources to make that program as strong as possible. And it's definitely beginning to pay off, as you can see on court.
Unfortunately for the Aussies, the 3 next semifinals may be more compelling than this one. But it wasn't their fault. It was more the power of the Americans.
McShane.
As you can see, Australia has nothing to hang their head about, and they'll be back for the bronze medal game against the loser of the other semifinal.
No, exactly, and that's like the coach said coming out of the timeout, is that they need quality right now at the end of the game, and to lock it in and finish strong, because they will be coming into the bronze medal game tomorrow or Sunday, and yeah, they're going to need to be able to have their rhythm, and they need to find that here before this game is over. Give themselves a little bit of confidence coming into that last game.
Those of you tuning in for the first time to the USA basketball, you see why we have the best team in the world. Those players out on the court.
Elliott seeing his first minutes here in the fourth quarter on the scoreboard, 2 points. USA gonna use the clock down.
The bench still counting down, as they will always do.
Arambula with 2 points.
And that'll do it for this one, folks, as Australia did not have its best game, but the U.S. had one of its best games, and they'll be going on to the gold medal game.
Yes, USA will be moving on to the gold medal game against the winner of GB Iran. Australia will be facing the loser of that game for the bronze medal game. Final score 84-59 for USA. A little bit of stat update before we head off. USA shot 57% from the field, 4 of 8 from the three-point line and 10 of 14 for free throws, only allowing 8 turnovers, however having 9 steals, also 25 assists as a team. That shows how unselfish these players are and how much they really want to get everybody involved. Playing point-wise, Arambula with 10, Serial with 17, Williams with 29, Jennifer with 8, and Googe with 8. For the Australian men, shooting 49% from the field, 3 of 10 from the three-point line, 0 of 2 from the free throw line, 15 total turnovers, also with 20 assists, so a lot of ball movement there by the Australians. However, just points or baskets not falling in. You have Latham with 6 points, Norris with 14, Blair and O'Neill Thornton with 8 each, and Knowles coming in with 7. And yeah, about kind of what I expected. I thought that the teams equal out to each other really, really well talent-wise. I think the chemistry of this USA team is something that is what holds them to be unbeatable right now.
The men's chemistry and confidence right now, and they have the best hands and passing in the world, and really best shooters. And there's not a guy on the team who wouldn't be starting on every other team here.
Yeah, and that is going to do it for us. Make sure you stay tuned as the semifinals continue.
Okay.